Eating fat makes you fat. False! That actually couldn't be further from the truth. The key to maintaining optimal brain function as well as a nice, attractive, and healthy body composition is actually the consumption of healthy dietary fats. So there's a lot of different functions for what that does in terms of maintaining hormone levels, moving hormones around the body, maintaining cellular structure, as well as cell membrane integrity in terms of what can get in and what can get out of cells. But today I'm going to focus on three main things that fats do and good sources for each of those. So the first one we're going to look at building, fueling, and protecting. So let's start with building first. So what a lot of people don't know is that your entire nervous system, this is your brain, your spinal cord, and all of the nerves that run from your brain to your eyes, to all of your major organs, to all of your muscles, even your bones in some places, is all built out of fat. Your brain, in terms of its actual weight, if you took all the water out of it, is over 50% fat. It's almost entirely fat. So without consumption of the right type of fats, you're not going to be able to build a healthy nervous system. So the type of fats that help you do that help you strengthen your nerves and your brains and ultimately eliminate Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases long term, is going to be your long chain saturated fats. So these most commonly come from animal sources. So one of the best ones you can get is from butter, grass-fed butter particularly, raw if you can find it. Other sources come from grass-fed beef, grass-fed milk, fish as well. EPA and DHA are really, really good for building the brain, especially in central nervous system. And these, as I said, are going to keep your nervous system strong and functioning well. So those are the building fats. Number two, fueling fats. So you have this system, it's built entirely or mostly out of fat, fueling every thought you have, every movement you make, the functioning and the directions of the functioning of your different organ systems. You need to fuel that system. And so I'm going to make another video about this in terms of ketosis versus glucose metabolism. But basically, ketones are short-chain fatty acids that your body can use as fuel. I've probably mentioned this several times by now, but it's really important. So good sources of smaller chain fats, which your body can use better for fuel, is going to be coconut oil, especially MCT oil. So what MCTs are is they are medium chain triglycerides, which means they are fat molecules, but they're not super long like the ones that we want for building. They're smaller and they can be broken down into even tinier ones by the liver, which is really, really good source of fuel. So coconut oil, MCT oil, also palm oil has some degree of MCTs in it, but those three are the best. Also, if you can increase your own natural production of ketones, which you can go check out my ketosis video for that, that's going to give you those same type of ketone fuels to fuel your nervous system. And those actually come from stored body fat that your body can break down and process in the liver into teeny tiny little fat molecules that can fuel your body, as well as fill your body. You're going to find yourself a lot less hungry if you're in a state of ketosis, as well if you're consuming adequate amounts of dietary fats. So the third function of fats that we're going to talk about is the protective ones. So these are the ones that are loaded with antioxidants. So what antioxidants are is they're complex chemicals that we find primarily in the plant kingdom, in nature, that help initially protect the plant from oxidation. So I won't get too deep into the actual biochemistry behind it, but basically there are molecules that are called free radicals, and when they end up in your system, they steal electrons from your healthy system or from healthy cells in your systems. So when that happens, the resulting cell is missing a part of it and it becomes toxic to your body and has to get broken down. The things that both prevent that and neutralize what are called radical oxygen species or free radicals in your body are antioxidants. So you probably have heard a lot of antioxidants from acai and blueberry and different extracts. They're always finding some new root or berry from the Amazon that's loaded with them. And those are great, obviously, but there's a special type of antioxidant called polyphenols, and these are going to be found in, since we're talking about fats today, avocados, olive oil, and the special thing about avocados is not only do they have those polyphenols, they also have vitamin E, which is really, really important for skin health and maintenance of the immune system. Another protective fat you're going to find in walnuts. So what walnuts has is a really unique chemical called resveratrol, which you might have heard of from people arguing for the beneficial reasonings for drinking red wine, which it's a debate in terms of if it's worth drinking alcohol, if there's a little bit of benefit to it. But actually you're going to find a lot more resveratrol in walnuts. And what resveratrol does is it protects what are called telomeres, which is part of the genetic code inside each and every one of your cells. So when those telomeres break down over time, that's what we call aging. So what resveratrol does is it goes in and it protects those telomeres when your cells replicate so they don't shrink, and essentially can either postpone or potentially reverse aging. So resveratrol is a really, really hot supplement right now. Like I said, it's also found in wine and some other fruits and vegetables out there. You can look into it. You can get it in extract form as well, but obviously I would always recommend whole food sources. So that's pretty much my summary on fats today. Like I said, there's a lot more functions to them that I might get into in the future. One thing I want to close with, though, is to remind you guys that eating fat, not only does it not make you fat, but it does not raise your cholesterol levels. So I'm definitely going to make another video, maybe even my next one, on talking about cholesterol and maybe clearing up a little bit of confusion about it. But cholesterol that you find in your blood is actually produced by your liver, and it's not directly made out of fat. And there's actually been studies that I was thinking about getting into, but if this is resonating with you, go ahead and research it on your own. But they've done lots of studies to try to figure out, is it true? Does eating fat really raise your cholesterol levels? And if so, is that a bad thing? And it actually doesn't. They found no connection whatsoever. So there's a lot of documentaries out there right now that are recommending low-fat diets, just raw vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. And unfortunately, for the 3 reasons I talked about today, you're not going to be able to achieve those 3 things on an all-vegetable diet. And I know that bums a lot of people out because a lot of people are trying to reduce suffering, and I'm all about that. But if you're trying to build an optimal nervous system, which means you're going to be able to live long, healthy, you're going to be mobile, you're going to be cognitively functioning, you're going to be able to reach higher states of consciousness because your nervous system is given the protection, strength, and fuel that it needs through your diet, you need to incorporate these types of foods into your diet. So like I said, this isn't going to affect your cholesterol levels. Your liver makes cholesterol for specific reasons and makes it only as much as it wants to make. And so if it's elevated, there's a reason for that. And that's not just because of consuming healthy fats, I guarantee you. So if you guys have any questions about this, or you guys want some advice, or you want to share your experiences, or like I said, if this is just resonating with you in general, go ahead and leave a comment or a question, tell a friend about it, send me a message. Whatever works for you guys, I'd love to hear some feedback, and I hope this helps. Have a good day.